you? How are you? Hope you're good. Today I have another of the short, hopefully, CAWPILE reviews, and this one is for Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Honestly, I didn't plan on reading this book. Didn't know if it would be for me. I picked it up because it was on sale on Amazon for Kindle, and I was like sort of feeling like in the mood for some fluff. Also, one of my goals was to read at least a few books from the main character's perspective, who is a representative of LGBT and plus community, and this one definitely fits the description. And also, one of the main things as well was because there's gonna be a movie later on, I think in March. It'll be something that I will watch at home alone because it's not Logan's thing. So I thought like, oh, what the hell, I'll give it a try. And this is like a third book of the YA contemporaries that I grab onto, not expecting much at all, and end up loving it. So maybe it's just my thing and I just don't know about it. This book is about a young boy named Simon who is 16-17 years old, I think. He's still in high school. He is gay, but he's not out as gay to the world. He doesn't think it's a massive big deal. However, he hasn't come out yet. He meets another person online and they don't know each other's names, but they know that they go into the same high school and they are both gay and they're both not out, and he doesn't log out of the computer, and another student finds the emails and sort of blackmails him, threatening to release this on the Tumblr page for the high school. And so we just follow the email thread of Simon with the mysterious guy under the pseudonym Blue. And obviously this is a love story. I don't really know what else to say without like spoiling it. So let's just go straight into the CAWPILE. For the characters, I gave this book a 9. Characters were actually really believable, which I don't really find a common thing in YA contemporaries per se, because sometimes they're really exaggerated. But these were really believable, especially with some of the friendship dramas that were really something that I'm fairly certain everyone's gonna be like, yeah, no, I had that friend, or I was that friend. It's really not over the top, and there's nothing really that happens that's like would be like, oh, you know, this is clearly just a book or like Hollywood. And the characters were just like chill, not necessarily lovable, but flawed, all of them, just realistic, and I really enjoyed that, so I gave it a 9. Atmosphere was definitely not something this book went for. It was just your normal town slash high school sort of thing. There was not a lot of focus on atmosphere, because granted this is not an atmospheric book, but I couldn't fault it for that, but I also couldn't give it like a massively high rating, because so I gave it a 7. Oh, and coming back to the characters, I actually really enjoyed the fact that not only was the friend group quite realistic, but there was also a massive, like half and half, I would say, focus on the family life, which I also always think is so just disregarded. Family played a massive part, which it does when you're growing up and you're still going to school, because most of the time that you spend at home, it's with your family. So I was really glad to see that family was part of this and was very active. For the writing style, I actually did really enjoy it. It was very easy to read and it was quite funny. There were a lot of Harry Potter references, which obviously spoke to me on many levels. I enjoyed how fluid it felt. The conversations between the friends and the family were really distinctive, in the sense that, you know, there's a difference with how the family and the kids speak to each other, but it felt really not forced, and I thought that it did a really great justice to the book. So again, it's not something that I would necessarily, there were not a lot of like deep thoughts, at least not from my perspective, that I would just, you know, highlight and put it in my like quotes notebook or something, so I couldn't give it like a 10. But 8.5 seems like a really generous rating for the writing style, so I really did enjoy it. Was it spectacular? I don't think so, but it was really well done. For the plot, I gave it a 9 point. It really did move fast, but it didn't go into like this extreme adventure that like students have, because they really don't. Most of the stuff happened at school, at home, or in the theater rehearsals, and I thought that was really a nice way to set the book in while still moving fast enough, because everything really just happens during these things, so you don't have to like invent crazy adventure for important things to happen. And it was really fast paced. I was happy with that, and especially because from time to time we would get the email correspondence between our main character and this other boy Blue that we don't know the identity of. The one thing that I will say is that I guessed the identity from one of the clues really early on, and I was 85% sure that this is going to be the blue guy, and I was correct. Regardless, for intrigue I gave it a 10 because I just couldn't put it down. Literally, I started this book and I was just reading during my lunch breaks, but yesterday I just woke up and I was like, I just want to read that book because I want to know what's next. So it was great for that. I gave it a 10. For logic I gave it 9.5, again because it included the family life, it presented the plot in a way that was believable, characters were realistic, and so I gave it a 9.5. It's still a bizarre romantic. For the enjoyment I gave it a 10 because, again, if I wake up and I just really want to read that book, then I know that I'm enjoying it, and it just couldn't be lower than a 10 because it was so enjoyable. Oh my god, guys, this book was so cute. I had the butterflies in my stomach. It was so nice. It was so full of romance, and it was so adorable and so innocent, and it's just like, it was so cute. I can't explain that. That also touches upon, you know, sensitive topics like coming out to your parents, coming out to your friends, coming out to the world, bullying when you do come out, and just kids being cruel kids, but also other awesome kids standing up for those other ones. And it's just, overall, it was a brilliant read, and when I put everything together and divided it by 7, it was 9.1, which is the very low end of 5 stars, but it's still a 5 stars. And I think with the level of enjoyment and the fact that it speaks about important things, has a dog as well, and mentions Harry Potter and talks about important things. I think I already said that, but anyway, all in all, I think it really does deserve 5 stars. It was my first book by Becky Albertalli. I do have the Upside and Requited or something like that. I haven't read that yet, but I think I will because I really did enjoy this one. Really recommend to you if you're looking for something that makes you feel good, basically. Read it. It's so easy, enjoyable, and intriguing to read. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the book. If you read it, let me know if you're planning to. Chat to me down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!